Andre and Nayara from Campus B. So we've worked with them the past for the past couple of years, and they have a really amazing program in Brazil. So I don't know if you guys want to just take it from here, and then I know Cassandra was going to just share a little bit about her experience at some point. I'm not sure if you want to fit that in, but I'll let you guys take it from here.
Beautiful. Garrett, thank you so much. You know, it is a pleasure. Actually, it's always a great pleasure to be connected with CBU and you know, we really appreciate all your support. Actually, and Cassandra, it's a pleasure meeting you. You know, I heard a lot about you, you know, so it is great that, you know, I hope you're enjoying the journey as far as the virtual internship. We do have a small presentation. It's only like 7 slides that we cover what is the program. And just to give an overview, right? My name is Andre, you know, I'm originally from Rio, you know, that's why I put my background in Rio. I mean, we work from São Paulo, right? That's where the Campus B is located. So mainly, you know, my role in the company is to make a relationship with institutions across the US and the planet, right? So that's how we met CBU, you know, throughout the connection with Garrett, you know, and then as Garrett mentioned, the last 2 years we've been in contact, working together. So it's a great pleasure, you know. And then if Nayara wanna say a small remarks, I appreciate it.
Okay, so thank you everyone for joining us on this session. I'm Nayara. I'm head of corporate relations at Campus B. So while Andra deals with the relation with the universities, I'm dealing with the partnerships with Brazilian organizations, Brazilian companies, to provide this international internship programs, consulting programs, and so on. So I think that's it.
All right, so I will share my screen with you guys. I think perhaps you can see, right, like the screen, I believe. Yeah. All right. So, you know, it's just, we're gonna give an overview about the program. Please jump in anytime if you have any questions, or maybe if you wanna listen to the presentation, by the end, perhaps you can ask your questions, okay? So the Spring Virtual internship, it is the 3rd edition that we are running this virtual program, right? So we successfully launched a summer 2020 virtual program. We had about 16 students. Now we are running the fall program. We have about 21 students, and we are running the 3rd edition in the spring from January 25th to March 26th. And we have the deadline, you know, for the registration on December 11th. So we are very excited to see that the program is growing, right? So it's a chance that we are working with more companies, we are working with more students from different institutions, and this is what makes a very vibrant program, right? We usually, the way Campus B works, like we customize programs specific for one institution. But this is kind of an open enrollment program, right? So we create a program and we are welcoming students across the states, you know, to have this journey together. So it is nice to feel that the program has been a success, mainly, you know, because of the great partnership, but also because Nayara was able to find so, you know, great companies that can offer to the students a great experience. So in a nutshell, you know, about Campus B, right? We haven't been in business for 10 years, right? So we started here in Brazil, in São Paulo, but then since 2015, we expand our operation through the region. So we've done projects in Colombia, in Peru, in Argentina, Chile, Uruguay, Bolivia, and mainly what we done, you know, what we focus on, it is experiential learning, right? So we want you guys in a normal condition when travel it's possible to come to the region and experience something, right? So we want you to you know, build something or solve something or construct something, right? So this kind of instead of putting you in a bubble, we gentle break the bubble, making sure that you are really navigating and immerse yourself to the South America region. as we know, this year, the whole scenario changed. It wasn't expected. So we had to think creative on how to manage our programs, right? We only run faculty-led or experiential learnings until March. That's when the COVID started. So since then, everything has been managed virtually, right? So we managed successfully 7 programs virtually. It is in a rise, so we had different types of program, and the virtual internship has being one of the key programs that we are proud of, right? It's a program that continuously seems to be very attractive for the students and the participants. So in a nutshell about the program, we design, and then I think by the end I would love to hear Cassandra experience, because Cassandra also is navigating on the project, right? So we designed what we call a team-based consulting project, which means that you're going to be placed in teams, right? Sometimes 4 to 6 students working on a real case, on a real problem of a company, right? So in this way, you are developing your leadership skills. Also, you are having your personal development, as well as you have your culture, kind of a culture and learning infusion, right? Because there are 3 components of the program. One is the professional development, another one is the academic component, and the third one is the culture understanding, right? So as I mentioned, it is a 9-week program. The first week is a chance for you to understand a little bit what is about the program, how it's going to be. And then from the second week to the last week, you are working on the project. Interesting that we also welcome local students from Brazil, from this business school name called INSPER. INSPER is a very prestigious and elite institution here in Brazil. So it is a very nice chance for you also interact with local students, also with a professor that give lectures and mentorship about the program. So it's a very dense project that, of course, you focus on your professional development, but you also gain different skills that you can also help you in the future. So as far as the program structure in more depth, as I mentioned, the first week is a kickoff with orientation session. Also, we cover some culture aspects. We offer Portuguese classes. You don't need to be fluent in Portuguese. The whole program is in English, but we will teach you some basic words, like, for example, good morning or thank you, or some working knowledge words that, it is nice when you perhaps doing a Zoom or talking to a friend, maybe you can say thank you in Portuguese or how are you. From week 2 to week 8, there's all those combinations of interaction, right? You're supposed to meet with Campus B team to give a debrief about how you're feeling the program. You're supposed to have the mentorship with the professor that you help you out through the process. You're supposed to meet at least like once or twice with the company manager to make sure that there's a process, your process is going forward with the project. And of course, other cultural activities and the bi-weekly coffee gathering. In the final week, the week 9, you're supposed to give it back your solution, right? Because as we mentioned, it is an experiential learning. It is a PBL approach. So you're going to be presented to a puzzle, and yourself and your team, you're supposed to, solve this puzzle. Here is a very unique case. We have this student, his name is William. Actually, William was a summer intern with us. And amazingly that William did so well in the program that the company decided to hire him. So this can be also an opportunity, if you really do well with the company and if you really engage yourself to the project, or if you really think, there's other ways you can contribute, the company will look to you and say, oh, I like this student, let me hire him. So William is a case of success, and we like to highlight, because, if you have this mindset, once you start a program that say, can be a great opportunity for me even though, you know, in this current scenario, right? Like we don't know when we're gonna be back to a normal life. We don't know when borders are gonna be open. But we know that you can take this experience and make a difference, right? In your academic and of course professional. As far as the program requirement, you just need to be enrolled as a student, second year or above, be open-minded and responsible. Actually, this is very important because as you are representing CBU, there's also an expectation from the company. You know, you should be very responsible in your assignments, right? Because again, you can look this as an opportunity or an entry-level job that, you know, if you do very well, you know, you can be very successful in your career. As we mentioned, you don't need to speak Portuguese. Sometimes people are like, I don't know Portuguese, I don't know Spanish. You don't need to worry about everything is managed in English. So who we are welcoming for this program, right? We are welcoming undergrad students in the areas of engineering, computer science, communication, business, IT. And of course, there's other majors as well, but like in a nutshell, those are the areas that we have been covering. We ask you like, Andre, how the process works for me to get the job, right? How is the process, right? Usually when you are working your, submitting your application, one of the question is, which industry you would like to work? I would like to work in a nonprofit. I would like to work on a finance. I would like to work in a manufacturing, right? As Nayara mentioned, she's the head of corporate relations. She does have a strong network with multiple companies here in Brazil. So once she understands what you want as far as your internship, she'll go to the market, find companies that are related to the industry, and they'll present to you so you can choose the ones that you like to work. Please remember, there is no interview. Like there's no interview process between you and the company. Nayara, with your resume in a cover letter and your selections of the company makes the match with the company, right? And then if your profile match the company needs, then you become part of the project. Please remember that as we work in multidisciplinary teams, students will have different backgrounds. Maybe you are a communication major, but maybe in your team has a person that's a business, another one that's in IT, and together you're supposed to work to develop the project, right? Design the project. As far as the learning outcomes and that we express, again, we really hope this combination between professional, right, and academic and cultural can really help you to become a global citizen, right? We want you to, we do understand, like, we know that California in general is very cosmopolitan area. There's a lot of diversity, but also, again, because you're going to be working for students from different states, right? Or maybe even different nationalities, it's a very nice opportunity for you to appreciate the diversity, right? And put a hands-on on the project. Also, we want you to develop your interpersonal skills. This is something that I always think about this point, right? Maybe in 2 years or 3 years when you graduate, somebody gonna ask you in a company, like, what we were doing when the COVID happened? Then you can say, well, I was working in a virtual program, an internship, and I got hired to work in a company with this project, right? This is a perfect way for you to show value in your approach, right? As far as the contact hours that we mentioned, there's about 120 hours, which are described, 6 hours with a class with the Brazilian institution, there's Winsper, the Portuguese virtual class, about 100 hours for the virtual project. Please, remember in those 9 weeks, you're gonna have a meeting between once or twice with the manager, but there's also expectation work that you should do, in your own, if your team. So that's how we are calculating this 100 hours. So 2 hours for the final delivery, to make the project, and 6 hours for the cultural activities. And those can be, a gastronomy course or a capoeira lesson, or, a talk with somebody from a cultural view. There are many, many ways we can do that. As far as the program goes, you hope that you can develop, a better understanding about the Brazilian multicultural environment. as we mentioned, establish a professional rapport, develop your skills, your international skills, learn how to work on the decision making, because you're going to be working a real project. So there are decisions that you need to do, as you do in this project. And of course, to have fun and build this network, right? Brazilian students, entrepreneurs, and so on. Just go to the next one. Here is just like the program timeline. As we mentioned, our deadline to apply for the program is December 11th. The group assignments where we're going to be working is January 8th. And then we will start the program on January 25th, right? So from January 25th to March 22nd, 26th, it is when the program ends. So it's about a nine-week program. Let me see. As far as the investment of the program or how the programs work, we are doing early bird until November 26, about $880. This is what includes, right, the faculty and academic interaction, the virtual internship, mentorship, cultural interactions, the Campus B online support. And then if you pass this deadline, November 26, you have a few more days, right, to apply. And then this is how much it costs, right? Anyways, here I'm gonna stop sharing my screen, but here is an email of Nayara, right? If you guys wanna write to her direct, if you have any other questions, then is internships@campusb.org. And I'll stop the presentation. I would love to hear Cassandra's view of the program, and then we can also open for Q&A if anybody has any questions or any points, or even if Nayara also want to complement with other things that I forgot, so please let us know. And Cassandra, no pressure, just share whatever you think. How was your experience?
Yeah. Well, my name's Cassandra. I'm a business admin major. I'm in my 3rd year at CBU. My experience with Campus B has been fantastic. The one thing that has really stood out to me is the kindness of everyone I've interacted with on the Campus B team. They're so intentional and active about, I had an issue accessing one of the videos and they were on it right away. Very professional. But just really caring, and you can tell that, everyone at Campus B really wants us to succeed. Also working with college students from across the globe, the company that I'm working with right now, I'm teamed with a girl who lives in Brazil and a boy who lives in Colombia. And so networking with them, but even just hearing their business perspectives and their ideas has been super interesting. I love hearing about Brazilian culture and learning more about Portuguese. Portuguese is very difficult to understand, it's spoken very fast, but it's such a great opportunity, really. And yeah, I've really, really enjoyed my time with Campus B.
Thank you, Cassandra.
I have something to add. I'm the one more focused on the project with the companies, and I have my colleague Gabriela, who is dealing with the cultural and the language activities. And Gabriela is always telling me how engaged Cassandra is on these activities, and it's really important for the program. We try, we as the educational company, we provide some options, some sessions, but of course it's up to the student to take advantage of this. So I appreciate all the efforts Cassandra has been doing to be present on the sessions, to catch up the sessions she cannot be there live. And it's really important, and so thank you for that.
Yeah, you know, and then as Nayara mentioned, right, we do understand that because of the commitment with classes, because of the time zone difference, perhaps you're not going to be able to be in all session, right? So we also record the way like you can see in your own time. And also we try to, you know, as Nayara mentioned, right, Nayara and Gabriela, she's the one, like, they are the one leading, you know, the program. So I'm pretty sure they try to do their best to accommodate, you know, all the students. As Cassandra mentioned, right? She's based in US, and then has a student from Colombia, another one from Brazil, and then I mean to coordinate all these logistics involve a lot of efforts, like collaborative effort, right? We are designing these together. So it's a pleasure. I don't know if anybody has questions, or Erica or Nicholas, specific that you'd like to, you know, ask us. Also, this is going to be recorded, you know, Garrett, so please feel free to share with all the students. And it is a pleasure, you know, we do hope that more CBU students would like to come, you know, and we can keep this door open, you know.
I did have a question for Cassandra. Cassandra, because I mean, some of the work I've been doing is virtual, but I could never imagine doing an internship virtually. That would be like really tough. So I'm wondering, like, what do you think you've learned from it, and what's like been one of the challenges?
Yeah, that's a great question. So definitely one of the challenges has been the time difference. Prior to the time change, Brazil time was 4 hours ahead. Now it's 5 hours ahead. And so I really had to work with my job, because I do work. Luckily, they were super willing to be flexible and, you know, kind of arrange my schedule. But I think the one thing that I've really learned is that, you know, you have to be flexible. You kind of have to go with it. See when other people are available, see when you're available. Sometimes you might have to sacrifice some of your time, but, you know, it's all worth it.
Awesome, thanks for sharing.
Yeah, I think this is a key point, right? Because again, sometimes we can be very frustrated, like with the times when it comes. I mean, this 1 hour change, I mean, it means a lot, right? Like,
yeah.
You know, it's a huge difference.
But I think it has been challenging for the students to adapt, to be flexible. But I think this is also a great opportunity to learn. We had this huge difficult to find the best day for the project kickoff. We were having so much talks about the best day for Cassandra, for Alejandro, and for Fernanda, that are the 3 students working with this project. But we could succeed, and then the company is very satisfied with the work they are presenting. They are doing a great job, and I'm sure that during this process they also are learning how to deal with this challenge that we face every day in our professional life.
It's really cool to put on your resume too, that, hey, I had a team member from Brazil, I had another person from Colombia, and I had to figure out how to work with them, not just get along with them, but succeed at a project. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, we have some teams with students connecting from China, from India. So sometimes they are like 4 or 5 a.m. and the student is there to participate on the meeting. And I think they are growing a lot as professionals.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you guys so much for sharing. And I realize it's like 9:30 p.m. there, which is basically my bedtime. And I'm an old guy, but that's
challenges.
Awesome.
We face this in professional life.
It was actually a great pleasure, Garrett. And I think, you know, just like one last remark, you know, I think what we are living in our society nowadays, you know, it's something that's gonna last for, you know, a long time, right? So yeah, by design or understanding the importance to work on the virtual set, you know, like for example, like in our case as a company, we didn't return to the office, right? We still, since March, working remotely, and then the projection is just to return by the end of like January, but not in the same way, right? Perhaps we're gonna go maybe twice a week in a company, right? So I think, you know, as we all facing this new norm, this is going to stay for a long time, right? So more experience, you know, how to manage your time, manage expectation, manage also like how you deal with the people. Like sometimes, you know, when you're talking in a Zoom or you know, Google Hangouts, it is different, right? Because you're not seeing the whole, you know, sometimes the person's not even looking at you, right? Like the camera is off, right? So all those skills are something that we are all learning now together, right? So again, I think this is a movement that I have been participating to a lot of dialogues and so on, and I don't think whether a vaccine comes, we're gonna go back to the old style of life, right? I think this is a new trend that's coming to stay. You know? So, anyways, maximize is really great to see that Cassandra, you know, successfully was able to maneuver the program. And then whatever questions or anything that you guys want, you know, we are here. You know, we would love to keep this dialogue open.
Thank you guys so much. Obrigado.
Oh, muito obrigado a você.
Boa noite.
Obrigada e boa noite.
All right, boa noite. Okay.
Right, you guys. Thanks for coming, everyone.
Thank you, Garrett, Cassandra.